All right, so you guys are gonna do like a light show and then a 3D print thing and then some laser cutting stuff. But we're gonna do circuits. So we're in Tinkercad, circuits. Uh, we're using an Arduino board, so we're gonna design it on here first. This has a rotate option, right? Uh, I'm doing Control minus so I can see better. All right, well maybe I'll just go over some while it's big. All right, so these are 5 volts. These are the analog things. They'll come up later. GND stands for ground. This is the reset. This is where it's going to plug in. These are your pins. Uh, so, and then this would hook up to the computer. So this is an Arduino board. We're going to look at some basic components, and then we're going to make some basic circuits, right? So this thing is called a breadboard. Um, it's pretty much just metal, copper underneath, right? And if I look and I highlight something, it shows me what like all these are and down are like one long wire, but the breadboard is so you could put these pins in and it stays in place. This gap in the middle, like see how when I click the row opens up, but it doesn't go over. I can connect them if I run like a jumper wire over. Otherwise, they're not connected. Down on this side, those are like the circuits. Just something to keep in mind. I'm gonna grab some code from uh, Spark Fun Inventors Kit. I'll post this code, or I'll just. All right, so I'm gonna make a blinking LED, right? So this is the LED. Um, some things to remember that the short side is negative. That's the cathode. The long side is positive, anode. And with LEDs and stuff, polarity matters, or both sides. All right, so I'm just gonna build a basic circuit. I'm coming from 13. I just click. I can when I click, it'll turn the corner. I'm just doing this uh, just to keep it neat. And in this one, it doesn't really matter, but like the relativity matters, right? I'll explain that in a second. So I'm gonna grab this and I'm just gonna put it up to it. You could put it anywhere on the breadboard, but some other stuff. I'm gonna do this one. Um, actually, I want to move this down one. And I'm gonna click on this thing. Green's okay. Just for this one, maybe I'll uh, make it red, so it's like. All right, so red from the 13 pin over here. I'm gonna rotate this. Right, and then I gotta run something to the ground. Let me change the color of this. Uh, All right, so I'm going to click on this wire. Then I can move it if it gives me, I'm just going to move this so you can see better. All right, so we got that. I'm going to grab this resistor. Like I said, these two aren't like connected, so you got to run a resistor over to make. All right, so now we just have some basic circuit, right? We got the ground, right? We have LED. Now up here, code, high means on, low means off, 1 second. This should kind of work, but we're going to be working with text code, right? So it's the same thing, but we have code that I'm going to give you, and it's going to be pretty much the same, but we're going to just copy and paste because this isn't really like a coding class, but all right. So digital right 13, I got my 13 pin. High means on, delay 2000, wait for 2 seconds. All these are called comments. This is a big comment. That's why it's got this, but it's the text is a different color. All right, so let's take a look at that again. I'm gonna undo this just so we review. The negative side is the short leg, right? And that would be this one. That's the cathode. The positive side is the anode, right? And it is polar, so it does matter. So now I have this. I start my simulation. It should blink on for 2 seconds. Cool thing about these, I stop the simulation. I'm gonna change this to 5 and 5. It should stay on for 5. Off for 5. In this project, you're gonna make like a light show by, you know, adding to this code, right? Um, if I wanted to, I could probably just start thinking about, the next line, right? If I copy this stuff, there might be cleaner ways to write it, but if I just, let me go 12, right? Then what would I have to do? I'd have to, um, oops. All right, keep that all neat. Let me turn it to, I don't know, turquoise. Coming off of 12. Put it there. Now, like, we'll figure out ways in the future. Ooh, like, say I have, like, I need a ground, right? Is that enough? I don't know. There is 2 grounds, so you might be able to get away with it, but then we'd have to figure out, like, a way if we were doing more. Let me grab this. Can we change their color? Oh, yeah. Got a green one. That's crazy. I don't know why I did that. Obviously that's wrong. So we got our thing right there. For some reason, I decided to not hook the wire up, and then it didn't run, which is pretty obvious why it wouldn't. All right, we're lighting up. On. Now this is a forever loop, right? So they're gonna be on and off, separate from each other. There's different, like, can you make them run together? Can you you know do it a different way where you're not, because you can't. What if I wanted to do this whole thing in lights? I only have two grounds. Is there some kind of wiring thing I could do? Um, Mess around, take some turns, stop simulation. Uh, One hint when we get into it, there is stuff like right, and then you could have wires come off of that. See if this still runs. Yeah, that runs. All right, so in that thing, let's see if we can. Now we would be able to just run these grounds. See how it's all linked up? We could just run the grounds off the grounds. I should have coded it different, like 1 second, so it wouldn't take so long to see if this one's lighting up. But it does. All right. So coding.